What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jackson. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast, where we're gonna get into some fight talk. But before we do, this episode is brought to you by Layback TV. Okay, over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel, all the HBOs that you can imagine, or the ones that they created, multiple languages that are all across the board and the world. You can go on laybacktv.com. It's on your screen to see how you can download it on your iPhones, Androids, and your Fire Sticks, so you can watch it at home if you don't want to watch it on your handheld device. And give them a shout out on their Instagram on official_layback TV. Alright? Now let's get into some fight talk. Whoa! Alright, guys. So, the event of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua took place. It's official. It's finished. Only 3 fights I cared about. I'll give it up. Alicia Baumgardner, the bomb. Salute to her. You know what I'm saying? 12 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. You know what I'm saying? It was her decision. It was given the option because it's normal from the regulated standard. 2 minutes for women. It was a unified championship, not undisputed since the WBC. Want to be a bitch. But shout out to her, yo. She is an elite fighter, doing her thing. Yeah, nothing but good things. Nothing but good things. I think she keep doing her thing. She'll move up. Hopefully she move up in time to get that Katie Taylor fight. I think that's up in her future. If not, that Caroline fight definitely has got some interest of mine. Anderson the Spider Silva, former UFC middleweight champion, taking on the chosen one Tyron Woodley, former UFC welterweight champion. It was originally Silva versus Chris Weidman, but Chris Weidman went down with a arm injury, so Tyron stepped on short notice since he was filming the sequel to Roadhouse with Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, personally, I mean, some people thought it was slow, but Anderson, I think he picked his shots. He took his time, which I thought he was supposed to. You know, when you see what he did with Tito Ortiz and Julio Cesar Chavez and what he tried to do with Jake Paul, you know, definitely the Spider-Man, one of the greatest of all time. And with that being said, it was a great. I thought it was a great uppercut. He gave a right uppercut. Caught Tyron Woodley on the cheek, and he staggered him. Was he able to continue? I don't even think he was, personally. I think the referee was going to stop the fight. He did a great job protecting Tyron. Where Tyron Woodley goes from here, holy shit, dude. I honestly have no idea. If this was the what's it called? The Misfits. There you go. Sorry, I lost it for a minute. If this was the Misfits boxing that Tyron was fighting, there's plenty of options. There's well, it's no longer KSI, but there's definitely Tony Ferguson. But you know, I think that's still open for Tyron, because I don't think he's directly a MVP fighter. It was just a great opportunity. You know, he got to perform on Netflix. You know what I mean? What more can you ask for? I just don't think combat sports is for Tyron Woodley anymore. I mean, I think he suffered enough punishment. You know, he went as far as he definitely could. I mean, look at the accolades that Tyron Woodley got, bro. You know what I'm saying? He fought for the UFC championship. First try, knocked out Robbie Lawler. Ruthless Robbie Lawler. You know what I'm saying? With the right hand, quick as lightning. He did it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the titles of the title, the top of the food chain is the UFC and MMA. And he did it. He retained the championship. He defended it. Who did he defend against? Oh, he defended it against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson on the first pay-per-view for UFC in New York City at Madison Square Garden. which it ended in a draw, but I gave it to Tyron. But the rematch, he got it. You know what I'm saying? He submitted Darren Till to retain the championship. Yo, this guy's going down in history. You know what I mean? He should be a UFC Hall of Famer already. But it's not necessary to take this punishment anymore. To be totally honest, I don't think he should anymore. He should stop. If he continues, I think he should go one last wham bam over at Misfits and try to get a make-believe fucking belt over there, because I don't know what the fuck those belts are. There ain't nobody recognize those belts. It's just good participation trophies. Anderson Silva, being 50 years old, still able to do it. I think, his call out of Chris Weidman was perfect. That's exactly who he should fight. We should get that trilogy in some form or fashion. Because the second fight between Chris Weidman and Anderson Silva just ended at a freakish accident. If you don't know what I'm talking about, do your research, do your Googles, do your YouTubes. But I think that's definitely it. And, seeing the tweet of Chris Weidman, he accepted the challenge. So hopefully MVP could get that fight together. It was the original fight for on Netflix on this event last month before it was canceled or rescheduled. I think the fans earned it. They should get it. So definitely, that's the next fight for them. Moving on to the main event: Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. 8 rounds. Anthony Joshua cannot weigh any more than 245 pounds. I went back and forth with a couple of my people. A friend of mine, my brother. We were jotting it down. I mean, I gave my assessment. Of what I expect. I expect Anthony Joshua to win. I was going for the underdog, though. I wanted to see it upset. I wanted it to be entertaining. But when you look at Anthony Joshua, a fucking freak of nature, fucking athlete, gold medalist in boxing, 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, yo, you can't expect any more than what we got. You know what I'm saying? You're expecting him to sleep Jake Paul. And I gave my brother an actual opinion about if Jake Paul were to win. If he were to win, and how. In my opinion, if he wins, he ain't winning because he's a better fighter than Anthony Joshua. It's because Anthony Joshua made a mistake. Took him lightly, left himself open, got caught. That's the only way I see him winning. I ain't seeing him outclassing him. I'm not seeing him go the full distance, outboxing him, knocking him out. I don't see it just directly with both their game plans combined. I don't. I am expecting Anthony Joshua elite to outclass and outperform Jake Paul, but not the guy who got knocked out by Daniel Dubois. You know what I mean? He got overzealous. He started overextending. He got caught with the uppercut. And I thought, with any mistake, Anthony's open to the uppercut because Jake Paul's a smaller fighter. Which we saw. He got caught with the uppercut. It just wasn't enough. Now, with Jake Paul, I don't know what fucking game plan he was doing. If this was the game plan, then he got to sit down with his trainers and be like, yo, what the fuck were you guys thinking? Because he's not a natural heavyweight. He has to bulk up to get to that weight class. Anthony Joshua is natural size heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? That's it. If he cuts weight, barely any pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see exactly why Jake Paul feels comfortable to go to heavyweight. What? Because you did this on Netflix in a Dallas Cowboys stadium against Mike Tyson, one of the greats, out of his prime? No. You should not be at heavyweight. You should be at your natural weight of cruiserweight. That's where you need to be. Kudos to him, though. Stepping in the ring with one of the best in the last 10 years in Anthony Joshua. Yo, kudos. Take his hat off to him. Yo, it's crazy as fuck. He lasted 6 fucking rounds. But that running shit with that heavy weight, with the weight that he's carrying just to get to heavyweight, he was done. He was done by round 4, I would say. Maybe 3, but definitely round 4. He was done. And if you're done at round 4, you got 4 more rounds to fucking perform. So by round 4, I looked at him, yo, he's done. He's exhausted. He ain't got enough energy to keep running like he's been doing. He's fatigued. You know what I'm saying? And if you're fatigued, you're not thinking. You're gonna leave yourself open. Your technique goes out the fucking window. You know? Whatever he was doing with the clinching, motherfucker went for a double leg takedown. You know what I mean? It worked one time, but it worked not in his favor. They both went down. I didn't know what the hell Jake Paul was doing. If he was just trying to survive, his cardio should have been better. Because then he would have lasted all 8 rounds. It would have been a decision. So I don't understand what the fuck he was doing. But he was done. He was fatigued. He got it counted as a drop twice. He got dropped twice. And when he was done, round 6, he's fucking done. He don't know what to do, how to dodge him. Anthony Joshua was not cutting the ring. He was using his jab, which was perfect. Finally pinned him in a corner. You know, Joshua threw a left, kind of grazed, threw the jab midsection, which was a perfect executed target because it got Jake Paul's hands down. And once his hands was down, here comes finally that right hand that everybody kept saying he ain't throwing, which it was perfect because he saved it. He waited until it was necessary to throw that motherfucker, and he did it. And it flushed in the jaw of Jake Paul. Not only did it flush them, it dropped them. And apparently, out of Jake Paul's mouth, it broke his jaw. Now, a lot of people thought he was going to get knocked out, slept, face down, you know, kind of like what Jake Paul did to Tyron Woodley. But he dropped them. He dropped them, you know, with that shot, you know what I'm saying? It was a clean shot, but he was fatigued. You're fatigued, you're not getting up with that heavy ass body. No, he didn't make the count. Ref waved it off at 10 count. Anthony Joshua technically won by knockout. So, but Jake Paul, you know, he broke his jaw. He said it. But don't you realize when he got knocked down from that right hand, he was like, oh shit. He felt that power. And I don't think he was concussed. I think his body was just done. He didn't have anything left. You know, heavyweight is way too heavy for him. I think he realized that his jaw was broke. No reason to take any more damage. Got to be smart. But I think that was realization that I'm only giving my opinion. I think Jake Paul came to the realization, yeah, I don't belong at heavyweight. These motherfuckers hit way too hard. Heavyweight is not my weight class. You know what I'm saying? But he got up fine, spitting out the blood. Yo, a lot of people got to give this nigga credit. They got to give him fucking credit. He did what he came to do. He came to fight. You know what I'm saying? He made the most out of everybody in the motherfucking card. He's also the promoter. So you got to think, salute him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody expecting him to win, and if he won, yo, shit. This motherfucker's head would have got bigger thinking that he's going to become heavyweight champion fighting Alexander Usyk, which he don't need to. So, yeah, I think next step for Jake Paul, he needs to go to cruiserweight. Personally, I don't think Badou Jack is definitely the one guy he needs. He needs to fight at cruiserweight. He needs to fight a contender at cruiserweight. Get in the top 10. It's a dead fucking division. So it's kind of perfect to be at world championship level over there. Heavyweight is not for him. If Anthony Joshua does this to him, what do you think Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk or even Deontay Wilder would do? These guys are too big for him. Like, he don't need it. So, yeah. Interesting. So I think Jake Paul heal up, you know what I mean? Get that jaw fixed. He's still talking, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get knocked the fuck out on his ass. Well, he did on his ass, but not on his face, like slept, you know what I mean? Where they had to wake his ass up. He wasn't face down like Tyron Woodley was against him, or like Manny Pacquiao getting knocked out by Manuel Marquez, okay? Those were clean, out, cold, wave it off, no point counting. You know what I'm saying? And he got his jaw broken and he was still talking. You know what I'm saying? So, salute him. I have respect for him. I even got more respect for him now. You know what I'm saying? I think cruiserweight is definitely for him to get the fuck out of heavyweight. That's not where he needs to be. Anthony Joshua, I think this motherfucker is better. He's getting better. I think probably the year off was probably good for him. He needs Tyson Fury. I think is equal. They've both been out of the ring for quite some time. Give us the fight we want. The fight we need at heavyweight. We don't care anything else at heavyweight. I mean, if there's any other heavyweight fight that I would care about, is probably Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. But, 8 to 12 week camps for both. But Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua is the number one heavyweight fight I want. 100%. You know what I'm saying? If there's anybody for Alexander Usyk, I say probably Andy Ruiz. That will be, same height, almost same build. Definitely two elite fighters at heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury in the UK, in a stadium, Wembley Stadium, is the elite versus the elite legacy fight for the UK. Do it. Get it done. We believe in you. Your Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, for Ring Magazine, Riyadh Season, and Eddie Hearn at Matchroom Boxing. Get that motherfucker done. Even though the guys over there, Frank Warren at Queensberry, all right? Get it done. We need that fight for next year, all right? No more bullshit. All right. That's it we got for Fight Talk. I'm your boy Eddie Jackson. So Drop That Podcast. Make sure you hit that sub button. Get the hype up. Like the page. Comment if you didn't like what the fuck my assessment was for Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. Who gives a shit? But I will read it and I'll say hello. All right? You guys be easy. Peace.